Welcome back to the Bryan Devore Connection. I'm your host, Bryan Devore. There are a variety of services and organizations here to help seniors as they're kind of transitioning through the later years in life. And one of those entities is a skilled nursing facility. I've done almost 200 episodes of the Bryan Devore Connection. Not once have I had a skilled nursing facility person come in and talk about what they do, and I think it's super important that we do. So here to talk about the Springs at Pacific Regent, which is a skilled nursing facility, is Mike Empey. Mike, thanks very much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So skilled nursing facilities, acronym SNFs, sort of in the industry, they kind of got a bad rap during COVID. A lot of hospitals were pushing people into skilled nursing facilities. They were becoming overwhelmed, and people didn't know, what was going on and what to do. And you see on the news nursing homes and all the cases and stuff, but that's not where we are today. And I wanted you to come in and talk about what is a skilled nursing facility, what's the intent of a skilled nursing facility, and what makes you guys different. So tell us about the Springs.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
On your program. The skilled nursing is essentially it's transitional care, and it's a level of care that's just below the hospital level of care, which is, so a lot of times it's called post-acute, and it's intended to be a place that will still provide the hospital care for someone in the period of time between when they leave the hospital and when they're maybe strong enough and healthy enough to return to their home, whatever that may be, whether it's their home with their family, home by themselves, home in an assisted living, or memory care facility, or wherever they came from. Something happened, they had to go to the hospital, and they're not necessarily still sick enough to be at the hospital, but they're maybe not strong enough to be home yet. And so that transitional care takes a lot of shapes and sizes based on who is sick and what kind of sickness they have. And different skilled nursing facilities will cater to different needs for those residents that need transitional care. So skilled nursing facility does a lot. Our building is a 59-bed facility in La Jolla that focuses on rehabilitation, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, maybe IV therapy, things that may need to happen for somebody right after their hospital stay, and then with an average length of stay at our facility of about 22 or 23 days,
Okay.
we're transitioning people back to their home environment or another level of care. So I think, the interesting thing to mention is depending on the needs of the patient, there's different types of skilled nursing facilities that would cater to different things. If a person has a ventilator or a trach, they're going to go to a subacute skilled nursing facility. If they have other special needs, maybe with memory care, they could go to a skilled nursing facility that offers more memory care. But by and large, the post-acute care is going to try to focus on whatever that patient needs in order to help them transition to another level of care. And in our healthcare system, hospitals are very expensive. So Medicare, Medicaid, managed care programs all want to move their patients from the really expensive healthcare in a hospital to a lesser expensive healthcare option like a transitional care facility, skilled nursing. And then ultimately, if they can, they'd like to move them to home health,
Right.
where the patient's going to recover and be comfortable and be happy, but also have nursing care brought into the home, which is obviously going to be a lot less expensive than someone being in the hospital all the time. And it also relieves a burden on the hospitals in
Right.
case something else was to come up.
Yeah.
So skilled nursing is kind of, before ever I had my grandfather go into a skilled nursing facility, I would have never known what that was because I would have only thought of nursing home.
Right.
Right.
Well, and it's an important thing I think to focus on is this is the in-between. It's not meant to be a long-term stay. And I know for some families going through this for the first time, it can be a scary situation. They're in a skilled nursing facility. How long are they going to be there? What's going to happen? What's the prognosis? So you're dealing with some high levels of emotion with what's going on. And you have to be able to explain to people it's a temporary thing. This is where we're trying to get you to go, graduate, so to speak, into whatever that next phase is going to be. So it must be, in a way, a challenge to, as you're working with these people, to help them understand kind of how this whole system even works.
It is, and you have to have a lot of empathy for families when they're in that situation. A lot of times, because of the nature of my facility being mostly physical therapy and occupational therapy, I'm working with probably some younger seniors that may have orthopedic challenges or things like that, where they're really not going to be with us for very long. But for a lot of those families, this is their first experience with mom or dad being in the hospital, needing transitional care. They're learning about Medicare. They're learning about their benefits. They're learning about all of this while they're going through it. And they're worried about their loved one, and they're there every day, and they want to be involved. And it's a scary time, and you have to understand what they're going through and the questions that they have and the things that they're worried about. And, if you had a bigger facility, like for example, a sister facility of mine in town that has 150 beds, they'll have 100 or more people who are with them for longer periods of time. And a lot of times those people and their families are a little bit more used to the healthcare system and what happens there. And so, yeah, I really try to be empathetic to where they are and what their experience is, and provide the services to help them understand what's happening.
Yeah, that's great. And you're located in La Jolla, like you said, in Pacific Regent, which is, it's a 55 plus independent living building. And I've been in there many times. It's a wonderful building.
It is,
and it's
beautiful.
You must have a great relationship being right there.
We do. We have a good relationship with the Pacific Regent Tower. And then right on the other side of us is Belmont Senior Living. And that is a beautiful, brand new facility with a memory care unit and everything. And we've got a great relationship with them as well. So we're kind of nestled right in between them.
Yeah, no, I love Belmont. I love what they do. And so what's making you different than a lot of others? I know we talked about the occupational therapy, the physical therapy. What else separates you from the others?
I think the big thing that makes us a little bit unique is that we are really just transitioning people through. We're not equipped to specialize in anything long term. So we're having people who they come in, they've got a place to go when they leave. They're working, just on becoming stronger and more physically able to go back to where they were. And I think because that's our clientele, we've really equipped ourselves to specialize in those areas. So our nursing, we can take all kinds of acuity. We can take people who are very sick, but our goal is to get them strong and able to go back to where they were before. So we have top-notch therapy, top-notch speech therapy, which really helps if someone's had a stroke or if having swallowing problems. Top-notch occupational therapy, which helps people with their activities of daily living and the things that they want to do every day independently. If they have stairs in their house, if they have, problem using their utensils, we can help them use utensils to feed themselves and do things like that. And then the physical therapy of getting their muscles and joints stronger and helping them be more stable and avoid falls and rehospitalizations from falls and things like that. So we really specialize in the therapy. And then our goal is we want to follow them home. So if we have somebody who's done really well with us with therapy, we have an outpatient therapy license as well. So we can invite them back even when they're not an inpatient with us anymore to come back for physical therapy and continue what they're working on with our therapists, or we can follow them to their home and do therapy in their home, depending on what their benefits are. And for most people, they don't understand that if you have Medicare Part B, you can continue to have physical therapy on a maintenance basis to help you to stay strong and stay independent. And a lot of times if if anybody's watching that has a family member, a mom or dad, who are a little shaky and unstable and worried about falling, and maybe they hold on to their furniture as they walk around the house and things like that, they could really benefit from the exercise. I mean, you and I benefit
Yeah,
from
absolutely,
exercise,
for
right?
sure.
And so a senior is no different.
Right.
So they just may not know that they're entitled to that with their Medicare Part B benefit. And so we'll go out, we'll do screenings, we'll help them understand what their benefits are and how we can help them to maintain their quality of life. And if you can walk and be stable on your feet and not be afraid, your quality of life is hugely better
Absolutely, much better.
than living afraid to go places and worried about, you know, what could happen if you were to fall or if you know, had a problem like
Yeah.
that. So
It must be very gratifying to see, you know, people coming in, whatever stage they're at, either from the hospital or, like you said, in the outpatient, and seeing them, you know, leave in a much better place than where they started.
it is. And personally for me, you know, I came up through, I got my degree in college in sports medicine and my master's degree in exercise science. And then, you know, I was actually a coach for a long time. I love seeing people that are healthy or working to be healthy. And in athletic training and sports medicine, we were learning to help people get healthy again after an injury, because those happen, right? We don't all get to stay healthy our whole lives.
Right.
And so I really do. It's been a passion for me, and in this industry, with what my facility specializes in, it just really fits. And I've surrounded myself with an amazing team of people that focus on, let's get people back to work. The pictures in our building, they're not serene, quiet, you know, earth tone, old folks pictures.
Right.
They're pictures of seniors golfing and running and walking on the beach and doing yoga and participating in life. And that's, you know, the light in the building. We're in La Jolla. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful building. The rooms are big. The windows are big. There's lots of sunshine. Our gym is big. The pictures, the environment is all progressive. We want people to come in with the idea that you're going to get healthy and we're going to get you out of here.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
More information about the Springs is on screen, so you can take a look at their website, learn more about them, call this facility as well, learn more how you or a loved one can take advantage of this through your Medicare Part B. Or if you have a loved one who is discharging from a hospital, this is the place to go. Mike, thank you very much for joining me today and sharing about the Springs.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.